What's up, creative minds? I am Angel and this is your Foodie Chef. It's been a while I released a tutorial on this channel, as my previous videos have been unboxing videos. Now I'm here today with a tutorial and we'll be editing this picture from start to the very end. We'll be doing everything from developing the picture in Camera Raw, sending it into Photoshop, doing some skin retouching including blemish removal and frequency separation and some dodge and burn and some color grading and skin color correction and photo sharpening and eye whitening and teeth whitening, everything basically. So stick with me to the end. I'm sure you'll pick up a thing or two. And as usual, if you like this video, hit the like button and smash the subscribe button to be part of this community. If you have any questions, leave it down in the comment section below. If you like these kind of videos, let me know in the comment section below and I'll be sure to release more from time to time. Remember, I am Angel and this is your Foodie Chef. Let's jump into Photoshop. Alright guys, welcome to Adobe Photoshop Camera Raw. I'm using the version 15, but obviously it does not matter which version that you're using. I shot this picture with a Nikon Z6 Mark II, as you can see right up here. I'll go ahead and I'll turn on the highlight clipping warning. Yeah, a highlight clipping warning. Yeah, that's it. Right, just to know if the highlights are clipping, you know. Right, I'll go ahead and I'll take the highlights down. That's the first thing. So about there. I'll take the whites down as well to about there. I'm going to take the shadows up just to get some dynamic range, you know, to get some details back in the shadows. I'll take the blacks down to add a bit more contrast. I'll add some contrast as well. So about that should be alright. And I'll warm the picture up a little bit. About 5002 should be fine. I'll leave texture, clarity and the haze alone. I'll take vibrance up and I'll take saturation down. Out there. Now we all can see that image is fairly overexposed. We'll fix that up later on, don't worry. Let's move to the curves adjustment layer, and over there let's go to the red and make some points here. Right, let's take this one up about there. Let's take this one about okay, trying to find about somewhere there should be fine. And I'll take this one up a little bit, about there should do. And I'll go to the blues and I'll make 3 points as well. And with the first one, well, with this one, I'll take it up like that just to add some shadows in our blues for us. So about there should be alright. I'll move this one to about there. Should be alright. I'll move this one up a little bit. I'll leave it here and I'm going to move this one to about there. Move it around a little bit. Not quite okay how I want it to be. I'll leave it like that. Yeah, and that's the before and after, before and after. We're getting there. So we're kind of starting the color grading process right from Camera Raw. We're grading the picture before we take it into Photoshop. I'll leave the details alone. I'll go to the color mixer, and over there I'm going to hue the reds to the right, and I'm going to hue the oranges to the left, as I used to do most of the time when I'm editing these kind of pictures. About there should be fine. I'll hue the yellows as well, just to make things a bit more orange. Right, I'll move straight ahead to my luminance, and I'll take the reds down to about there. It's about 35, negative 35, and I'll take the oranges down to about 55. I'll take the yellow, in fact, let me leave the yellows there now. Let's take the greens up, make the greens brighter. I'll take it to about 24, 25, it's fine. Take the aquas down. It doesn't do much. Look at the car's windscreen. It doesn't really do much. I'll leave it about there. But the blues really affects the image. So I'll take the blues down to about there. Should be fine. I'll leave the purple and magentas alone. I'll go to the saturation. I'll take the red saturation down to about, that's too much, or negative 7. I'll take oranges down a little bit. Yeah, so each time I take the luminance down, I come to the saturation and I take it down as well. I'll take the yellows down to about negative 20, and I'll take the greens down, way down to about 90, negative 90. About there should be fine. I was trying to get the feel that I'm looking for. That's the before, that's the after, and the change is very drastic and interesting, and that is just from the color mixer. I'll move on to the color grading panel, and over there I'll move straight to the shadows, add some warmth. Right, that should be fine. Let's see, let's try 20. Oops, let's try 20. Just a little bit. Remember, subtlety is key. I'll move to the mid-tones, and I'm going to add some warmth as well. Take the slider up right about there. Let's make it 40. And I'll go to the highlights, and I'll add some, I'll try and cool it down a little bit. Yeah, I'll take it to about there. Should be fine. And I'll move this one up to about 10. And look at that, before and after of the whole image is looking great already. I'll move to, I'll leave the optics alone. Well, if you want to remove chromatic aberrations, you can take this one, and you can reduce purple fringing and all that. For me, yeah, I'll leave it alone, it's fine. I'll go to my effects. Let's leave it alone as well, and let's move to our calibration panel. And over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the hue of the blue primaries down. This is what it does to the image anyway, if you're wondering. I'll take it down a little bit just to bring some oranges into it, you know, make it look orangey. And I'm going to take the saturation down as well to about -5. Now, it might seem like it's not doing much, but it is really affecting the image. Let me turn it off and on for you to see. So look at the oranges. It's bringing some oranges into the whole image, giving it, you know, more vibe and all that. So this is our before and our after from our camera raw. You can actually pause here and, you know, export this image if you're looking at only color grading your image. So for my friends who are using Lightroom, you can actually do this in Lightroom and just export your image and you'll be okay with it. in our case, we're taking it to Photoshop to retouch it even further. So we're in Photoshop now, and I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this layer. Yeah, I'll crop for Instagram, so 4:5. I'll hit the crop, the shortcut for the crop, which is C. I'll select this 2 here, 4:5, and I'll zoom out so I can crop well. And I feel like it's a bit boxed in, so I'm going to try and expand. And I'll leave it about there. Should be fine. Right, ignore that weird color there. It is just from the background color over here. We'll fix that in a bit. Anyway, I'll select that one and I'll unlock it. I'll hit W for the magic wand 2. I'll just select the magic wand from here, and I'm going to delete it just because it's weird and I don't want it there. I'm going to attempt a background fix just to fix this space here. If not for these things over here, we could just hit our rectangular marquee 2, select this one. The shortcut is M, and then select everything on here, Control T, make sure the topmost layer is selected, Control T and hold Shift and drag like that. It's actually not bad. The only thing I don't like about this is these lines kind of going that way and bending like that. I don't really like that, so I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to try and fix that, and I'll do that with the liquify too. So filter, liquify, or Shift Command X. I'm going to try and see if I can use the liquify too to fix that issue. Right, come on. Yeah, I'm just going to shift things down a little bit. You know, don't be too drastic with it. Just going to try and straighten the lines a little bit. Yeah, right about there. Should be alright. I hit OK. It's looking better than before. It should be fine. I'll leave it like that. Right, I'll go ahead and I'll duplicate that layer again, Control J, or just drag it to this one right here, and I'll remove some, you know, should I say some artifacts from the background, but I'll try and clean up the background. I'm going to do that with this tool right here, the spot healing brush 2. Shortcut is J. Right, I'll try and clean up a little bit. Remember, if there are a lot of distracting elements in your background, attention is not really on your subject. So trying to clean your background, trying to make your background look clean is really going to draw attention to your subject. Now, when I was taking this picture, I should have probably framed the picture well and not have this car right here. What I can do is I can clean the car from there, but I'm not going to clean it. I think it's all right. I'll leave it there. You could clean it. And one advice I'd give, one advice I've already given in a video I released on how to make your images pop, was that try your best to frame your subject well. You know, try to frame your subject well, in that do not have any distracting elements in the background. When you're composing your shot, make sure anything that's not serving a purpose is moved out of the frame. Anyway, that is that. I'll go ahead and I'll duplicate the layer again, and then I'll go ahead and I'll do some frequency separation. So simple frequency separation, just a simple one. Let's select a radius Okay. About 5 should be alright. And if you want to know why I'm selecting that blur radius, you can watch my video. I'll pop the link up there. My video on how to select the correct blur radius when doing frequency separation. Right? I'll zoom in and I'll select the high frequency layer. I'll hit J. I'll select the spot healing brush too. And I'll try and remove some blemishes from the skin. So there are many ways to do this. Yeah, you could just do it by not even creating the frequency separation layers. You could do it on the image like that. I sometimes do that, especially when I'm in a rush. Well, I'm not doing it that way today. So it's just simple to use. Just click and it goes. Zoom in. I'll try and clean this spot of the face. Right, don't forget to change the brush size when you should. So if you should increase the brush size, if you should make it big, make it big. If you make it small, make it small. These are only, she's actually got a very good skin, so there's not much to remove, which is one benefit. You know, when you're working with models who have a good skin, you don't have to work as much as you would with somebody with a not so great skin. You know what I mean? So I'll remove as much as I can. Now guys, when you're doing frequency separation, don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. You should do it on the whole skin. Anywhere you see skin, check it out and correct something if there's something that needs correcting. I know it's very tempting to do it on only the face and leave it. Now I've been a victim. I've been a victim myself. I've done it in the past when I just frequency separate the face and I'll just leave everything else like that. Well, I've changed. Over the years, I've learned that, you know, a great image is not only the face. You know what I mean? So take your time and fix things. I'm going to switch to the patch 2 for some of these skin imperfections, if I should put it that way. These are bigger ones. And they don't want to respond to treatment, but they will. Right. Okay. Take your time and clean the image. Clean as much as you can. Oops. Oops. All right. Okay. Right. I've cleaned a lot, and you can see from the before and the after. I'm going to merge everything to the top by hitting Shift, Option, Command, and E to merge everything to the top. I'll come back to this again. Oops. Good. That's it. It's gone. Those were very stubborn ones. Well, I deleted them. So take your time, spend some extra time doing this. I'll delete this one and I'll create it again. About there should be fine. About 4 should be alright. Alright, now let's brush on our low frequency layer by using our mixer brush tool. These are the settings I'm using today. You can copy it if you want. Now brush. Remember to brush in the direction of the skin. Now I've said this in my frequency separation video. If you've not watched it, you should go watch it. When I'm doing frequency separation, I don't really overdo it, and this is intentional. I could do it and have, you know, that fine skin, you know, perfect skin, should I say near perfect skin that you see on social media. That's just not my style. I prefer to still retain as much detail and as much natural detail as I can in the skin. So I'm all about subtlety. I don't overdo anything. I want my pictures to look natural. I want them to have a natural feel. So I don't want to destroy all the textures and everything. Even though I can recreate them artificially. I mean, why create skin texture when you don't have to? You get my point? If there is no skin texture due to some reasons and you're trying to create some, that's fine. But destroying the skin texture that's there just so you can create your own, I think it's not worth it. It's just a waste of your precious time, and you know. Anyway, that's me. I know people have got different opinions, but I prefer to still keep pictures natural. So as natural as I can. I'll increase the brush size. Good. Zoom out just so I can see well. I'll try and soften this side more. Great. You see how I'm not brushing the hair? I'm not mixing the hair and the skin. Remember, you're using a mixer brush too. You don't want to mix hair and skin. Why? I mean, it doesn't need an explanation, does it? You don't mix hair and skin. Just don't mix it. Alright. I'll do it here. Remember guys, subtlety is key. You don't want to overdo anything while retouching your images. Unless you want to. It's entirely up to you. I choose to not overdo my images. I feel like I've said that like a million times today. Anyway. Okay. Let's try and soften the knee up a little bit. Also, don't forget that I'm using a graphics tablet and a graphics pen, so you know how I press on it, how hard I press on it kind of affects how the effect's going to be. So if you've got a graphics tablet, you can use it. If you don't have a graphics tablet, that's fine, you can use a mouse. But if you can afford a graphics tablet and you've not bought a graphics tablet yet, what are you doing? You should get yourself one. I know the transition is not easy. It was not easy for me. You know, when I bought a graphics tablet, I was disappointed at first. I was like, what is this even doing? Why do people buy this with their money? Well, allow it to grow on you. Just as people say with music, allow the music to grow on you. So allow the graphics tablet to grow on you. You'll get it and you will love it. You'll not look back. Right. I think that is looking pretty good. Yeah. Let's look at the legs. Check the before and after. Before, after. Let's check the face as well. The before and the after, which is good. Right. I like the fact that we've been able to get this part very soft. It is good. Bonus tip, while doing frequency separation, you can actually try and straighten the dress up. You know, sometimes some dresses get crumpled and all that. I'm literally ironing the dress with the frequency separation. Sounds funny, but it works. You can clean it with that, and you could actually select a specific blur radius just for the dress. You can see it's really affecting the dress before and the after. Right. So right from there, I can see our image is very flat. I'm going to do a simple dodge and burn. Yeah, so I'll create a new layer. I'll select this, go to the R, type 127, 127, 127, which is giving us gray basically. I'll select our paint bucket tool, which is G for the shortcut, and paint bucket. I'm going to put it on here. I'm going to duplicate it just so I get a dodge and a burn. I'm going to name this D and this B, and I'm going to group them together. Select both of them, hit Command G to group them, and I'll name it D and B, dodge and burn. Oops. Right, and I'm going to select both of them, and I'll turn the blend mode to soft light. All right, let's go ahead and burn some skin. I'll select the burn tool over here. Make sure exposure is set to 5% and protect tones is on. I'm going to select the burn layer, and I'm going to start burning places I think should be dark. Just trying to, you know, help make the face more three-dimensional, if I should put it that way. Yeah, so just burn your shadows and dodge your highlights. Nothing drastic, something very simple. That's what I'm doing today. Over there like that, under the nose, under the eyes, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there, here as well, over there. Right, and I'm not going to do the dodge and burn on only the skin, only the face. I mean, I'm going to zoom out and I'll do it on the entire image as well. Nothing very drastic, but you know. Right, on the arms, on the dress, I'll do it there. Remember, I'm still using the burn tool. Okay, over here. All right. Now switch to the dodge tool. Right click and select the dodge. Make sure it's 5% as well. Protect tones is set, is turned on. Zoom in and dodge where I think should be dodged. Sorry. Foreheads over here, the lips, some light on the chins, some light on the cheeks, over here as well. A little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. I'll zoom out. I think the face is all right. I'll zoom out, dodge this place, dodge there, dodge here, dodge here, there. Great. That's it for our dodge and burn. That's our burn, and that's our dodge. I think the burn is too much. Decrease, select it and decrease the opacity to about 70%, and I'll decrease the dodge to about 90%. Look at the face, before and after, before and after. Yeah, it's looking better now. Okay, so that's it for our dodge and burn. We'll move straight ahead and do some teeth whitening. Now, if you've got my action for this, it's going to help a lot. If you've not got my action, you can watch my video on that, and the action will be linked. The action will be linked to that video. So the YPC teeth whitening, I'm going to click that one and let it run. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to select my brush to shortcut is B. So if you want to shortcut, it's B. Select a suitable size. All right, make sure color is set to white. You can press X to invert it if you've got the white on your background. Right, I'm going to brush on the teeth. Make sure opacity and flow is set to 100%, and I'll brush on the teeth. You can take extra care to not include the lips and all that, right? Or if you do mistakenly include the lips, you could just hit X, or make sure black is selected, then brush on the lips. It should take everything away. Okay, I've got that right there. I'll go to brighten smile, and I'll take the opacity up to about 30. Yeah, that's the before and after. Right, I'll actually go to the whiten smile and adjust things a bit further by taking the reds further down and taking the yellows further down. I'll leave it like that. I mean, I could just go in there and take things further down, but I still want to keep it as close to natural as possible, so nothing drastic. Remember that. I'm going to duplicate this layer. In fact, let me create another one. All right, I'll duplicate this layer, and I'll call this eye instead of teeth whitening. And on that one, I'll select black and I'll brush, I'll select black and I'll brush on the teeth just to take everything off the teeth. I'll invert it, make it white, because we're going to work on the eyes this time. So brush the eyes. I'm actually trying to brush on the black part of the eyes, which I normally don't do. I'm doing it this time just because the eyes are kind of dead in a way. There wasn't much of a catch light there. We could create our own catch light, but I don't want us to do that. I'm trying to pop the eyes out, make sure they're popping a little bit more. So I'll go to the brighten smile, which in this case is brighten eyes, and I'm going to take this one up, bring it up to about 100%. Now we're getting more of the eye in the image. It is bluish, I can see that. We'll fix it in a bit. Right, could just go here and take the saturation down. We're going to deal with the blues. So that's the eyes for you. I think we're getting a bit of that effect over here, so I'm going to clean it with a black brush. This is where we're at so far, looking very nice. Now we could end here, but I'm going to take it a step further by creating a curve. What I'm going to do with this is to make the image pop. If you've watched my video, that was my first video on this YouTube channel, my first tutorial on this YouTube channel, and it was on how to make images pop. I was using this very technique. So I'm going to make the image pop out of the subject, pop out of the background. I'm going to create something like that. Right, and you know, Photoshop does something, and it does something very nicely. You can go to select and subject and it kind of selects the subject for you. I know it's not perfect, obviously, but look at that selection. It's good enough for me. So I'll go ahead and I'll select this layer right here. Oops, cancel. I'll select this right here with the selection on. I'll hit option backspace, and what it is doing is it is creating the mask with the selection. Now I've got the effect on the background because the black is on my subject. I want it the other way around, so I'll select the mask and I'll hit Command I to bring it back to the subject. So this is what we have. See, the subject is popping out of the background. I'm going to do another one, and this time I am going to darken the background. So I'll copy this by holding Option and dragging it onto this layer. Replace mask, yes, and the effect with it is affecting the subject. There again, I don't want it to affect the subject. I'm going to hold Command and hit I to turn it to the background. So what we're doing here is, in fact, let me go ahead and group everything and name it Pop. So what we're doing here is, with this one on the first curves layer, we are popping the subject. We're making the subject stand out by brightening it, and on the second one we're making the background darker, and this is the resulting effect. Very nice, very nice. Now we could stop here if you wanted, but I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to even take it a step further by trying to add a bit of a vignette. There are a lot of ways to add a vignette. I'm going to hit Command Option Shift E, and I can go to Camera Raw, add a vignette there, and I can brush things off. In fact, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm just going to create a new layer. Select the pin bucket, shortcut is G, press D to go back to the default colors, or just select the foreground color and select black and put a black paint on it. I'm going to select this layer right here, create a layer mask for it, hit B to bring out my brush, 2, make sure it's big enough, and remember, black will hide and white will reveal. So I'm going to brush on where my subject will be, or decrease it and make sure my subject is fully in frame. I'll hit V, select this layer and decrease the opacity to about 10%. In fact, 10% is a bit too much. I'll take it down to about 7%. Oops, about 7% should do the trick. So 7% right there. In fact, I'll take it to about 5. I think 7% was a bit too much. Yeah. Now I think even though the image is bright, I'd want the face to be a bit brighter. I'm going to create another curves adjustment layer just for the face. I'm going to just bring this part up. And I'll take this part down there. Should be alright. And this is for only the face, so I'll invert everything by hitting Command I. Select my brush tool, make sure it's a decent size, make sure color white is selected, and I'm going to brush only on the face. And this is just to brighten the face up. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I'll go ahead, Command Option Shift E. We're actually doing a lot today. We're doing a lot to this image. Now what I've realized is not every part of the skin is the same color. I don't know if you've seen that. So I'll go ahead and I'll skin correct that one. I'll create a new layer. And for this color, I'll select about, wait for me. My color be, my color be out me because I have a complete video now. Ekuya da. Ekuya, are you sleeping?
You called me?
Are you sleeping?
Oh no, I was watching the
okay, Matty.
So the volume of the
No, you are. Keep watching. I'll be done in a bit. Yeah.
No worries.
Core chemicals we have. All right. So I'm going to put this color in 845884C. Right. This color seems to work for me. So I'll hit OK. And select my brush to zoom in and try brushing where I think it's not, so over here, I'll put the blend mode to color over here, into color there. I'm going to zoom out. I know that's too much. We'll fix that in a bit. Don't worry. Anywhere that the color is not, I'll try and I'll put some here, I'll put some there, I'll put some there. The knuckles. I'll try and put some there. And the knee as well. And over here. The legs up there. Now the face is the most important part. Since the face is the most important part, I'll go to the face and set it with the face, if I should put it that way. Right. Okay. part. Okay, right, so I'll take the opacity down till it's all right. About 30% should be all right. Yeah, about 30% should do the trick. I'll create a mask, select my brush tool, make sure it's dark, just because we're going to clean, you know, any color that's leaking. I don't know if that's the right term, but you get what I mean. Make sure the edges are clean. Oops. And you can see it's actually working, you know. Look at the before and after. Look at this part, the before and after. People choose to do it over the whole skin, but I choose to paint and correct only the parts that need correction. Before and after, so it is working. Okay, all right, that's great. I'll go ahead and I'll go to my selective color. I'll go to my blacks and I'll add some blues in there, just to add some blues in my shadows. All right, I'll try and decrease the opacity. I think it's a bit too much. Let's say about 40 should do. How about 30? 40 should be alright. And that's our before, and that's our after. You know what? I'll take this one down to 30. I think it's taking away a lot that I want to keep, right? I think the image is looking very nice. The next thing I'll do is to sharpen it and then export. Yeah, it's looking all good. I'll hit control. Sorry, sometimes I still, you know, remember the Windows terms, so that's why sometimes I still say Windows and control and, you know, alt and all that. Anyway, it's Command Option Shift E, and I'll go to filter, sharpen on sharp mask. I'm going to take it to about 100. I'll leave it there. About 100 should be fine. Let's look at the sharpness again. That's the before and that's the after. Look at that. That's the before, that's the after. That's the before and that's the after. Anyway, the image is looking great already. Right, I'll go ahead and I'll tag the image. Before I do that, let me try something. Let's see if we can add a bit of faded film to see if it's going to be great. Hold on, let's go here, 3 point, rough 3 point, and let's take this part up. Some cinematic film. That's the before and that's the after. It's actually adding some feel to the image that I like, so I'll leave it on. I'll just turn the opacity down to about 70%. Let's see the before and after of that to about 50%. I'll leave it that way. Yeah, right about there, that's fine. So this one I just did is kind of adding some feel to the image. I don't know how to describe it, but you know, that kind of faded film look. Yeah, and I think I like it on it. I'll further decrease it to about 30%, and that's it. That's the image. I'll go to my signature. I think I've got it somewhere. Yeah, I'm going to tag it with the white logo. I'll tag here. I'll decrease the size. Serengio inversion photography. If I want the logo to pop, what I do is I go to blending options, I stroke it just one, I make sure it's white, and that's the before and that's the after. So if I feel like the logo is not really popping very well, that is what I do to it. Just a quick tip for you guys. Right, so I think this image is looking good. We came from this to that. Well, not this, but that's what we've done in Photoshop so far, and I think it's looking great. We've done a great job actually. Right, that's it guys. Thank you for watching this video to the end. I do appreciate it, so I'm giving you the preset for free. So check the link in the description below, download the preset. You can load it into Camera Raw, you can load it into Lightroom, play around with the sliders and see how best it can serve you. Remember, my name is Serengio and this is your Photo Chef. Give this video a like, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below and I'll be sure to answer you as soon as possible. If you like these kind of videos, let me know as well, so I'll be sure to release more for you guys. Remember to stay creative, and as always, keep smiling. Wakanda forever. Wakanda